beyond bling. That's how I would describe the GM5600YMG, G-Shock's new fine metallic series of watches. Okay, bling to me implies, sparkle, right? Like look at on this GM2110D, look at the facets on the indices. See how it blings? It's because of the facets, right? They each catch the light at a different angle and reflect it. But the fine metallic series is something else. Like that bezel, that shines, right? But this looks like liquid metal. So, I'm not a zoomer. I'm not using the word bling unironically. I'm just here using some of the terminology of the broccoli hairs. And, but really, this is like, when the bad Terminator got blown up with a liquid nitrogen and then like he reassembled, he was liquid metal. This looks more like liquid metal. And G-Shock spent a long time developing this because this band, surprisingly, is not metal, even though it bears the appearance of liquid metal. And this is where the genius of this fine metallic watch series came from, is that this band is actually a resin band. The part that touches your skin is silicone, and then the outside is this vapor deposition layer that perfectly matches the metal bezel of this fine metallic series watch. Okay, so metal, and what is this? It's like some urethane resin, right? But it looks like metal, okay? And I've been wearing it for the past few days. I'm gonna give you guys a review, all right? And of course, I haven't really worn it for that long. I've not tough tested it. I've not seen how abrasion resistant this vapor deposition band is. But I can tell you so far, there are some things that I really like about it. One thing right off the bat you notice is that I'm getting fingerprints all over it, okay? If you want it looking its best, definitely get a microfiber rag and make sure you have one on hand to polish it, kind of wipe off all your fingerprints, right? In fact, I'll just leave a link below, not only to this GM5600YMG, you can buy it directly from Casio. I will also leave a link to a whole box full of microfiber rags so you can keep this looking shiny, all right? And that's what it does. It's really shiny. So the buckle is metal and it's gold color, right? This tang is metal. It's gold color. This band is metal colored, but it's urethane with silicone inside. All right, it's a triple layer sandwich, the best of three worlds. And this keeper is metal and it's gold color. The bezel is metal and it's gold color. All right, and this is polished. It has, it's polished in a certain direction, right? And it catches the light just right. So the inner bezel is metal color. And this LCD, I don't know if it's an optical illusion or it just looks like it, but it takes on a gold color, all right? And then this band, of course, same as the other side, metal color. Now, as far as what I've experienced so far with the watch, I'm going to just show you guys my son Phil's watch. This is like one of the best squares. Some might say it's the ultimate square. This is the GWM5610U, okay? Now, look how the band displays downward, okay? It displays downward at a certain angle, and my son's wrist is about 6.5 inches. So you can see exactly where he's normally puts the buckle, because it's definitely broken in, right? He wears this all the time. He's been wearing it for a few years. But you see the angle that this band comes down, all right? Look at the angle at which this band comes down. It splays out much farther, right? And not only that, but this whole band is longer, right? You go to the exterior, you do an exterior check of the specs of this watch on the G-Shock website, and this band says 145 millimeters to 215 millimeters, right? Whereas this one is only a 205 millimeter, okay? So this whole band is longer. And the interesting thing is, if we just hold them together, is that on this side with the holes, that it doesn't appear to be that much longer. In fact, it doesn't even look that much longer at all. But this side is longer. So the buckle side has some extra length, which makes the overall length of the band longer. And it splays out further. Gentlemen, this is a big wrister approved G-Shock square. Okay? So when I put it on, I have notches to spare. All right? Remember, my wrist is like just inside of 8.5 inches. Depends on what's for dinner, right? Now, like the 205s, they barely fit. Let me just put this on my other wrist, and you'll see that, you know, these, like, I have to like put it on the last notch, and I call it the fool's notch because when you have on the last notch, it's like, as a big wrister, it's like barely on there. It kind of moves around. It's not a good fit, right? And so as much as I love this square and the module, the angle that the band splays out and the length of the band, it's just not good for a big wrister, okay? But this fine metallic series is big wrister approved, okay? Now, will small wristers like it? Well, I have some small wristers in the household. I'll ask them to try it on. And so stay tuned. We'll see what they think about the fit of this watch and how much of a tail that this band makes after it's buckled, okay? We'll see what they think. So stay tuned for that video. But I'm just going to tell you my experience with this watch. And that is that I find it to be really comfortable, okay? Now, the silicone inside is better than some of the cheaper watches. Like this is a WS, what is this? A WS 1700. Okay, so this is like a regular El Cheapo Casio. And on the inside, these notches can get kind of scratchy. And this plastic's harder. It's not as supple, right? But normally, I'll be wearing a, like a GBH2000, which has this really soft band. The comfort of this is really amazing. And so, compared to this soft, supple band, it doesn't feel like, wow, this is amazing, because some of the G-Shocks that I wear are already very comfortable. But the comfort level of this is much better than the lower level of Casio watches and some G-Shocks, Like some of these can get to be tough and scratchy, right? But very comfortable here, all right? And so I don't think that Casio really did a good job selling what the fine metallic series is all about. The engineers designed a watch that combines the best of three worlds. You have the look of metal, the look of polished metal, that bling, that shine. You have the durability and resilience of urethane, sandwiched in between another layer of silicone. So the best of three worlds, all right? Now, does it look good? Well, I've gotten some comments. Obviously this is taste, but some people have been somewhat, they've been suggesting to me that, maybe this isn't as classy or as refined as a metal bracelet. Some people have told me in certain ways, that this isn't exactly my style. Denise said, I'm not really the right color to match this gold. And, well, I think that Time Bombardier said, it's a fashionista style. And, some people said, it looks spray painted, or, brought up paint or spray paint. Guys, it's not paint. Don't say spray paint. It's vapor deposition. Okay, vapor deposition, not paint. All right, don't say that. How well will it hold up? Well, I'm gonna have to tough test it, but I do not think I'll tough test this one. All right, I have another one, so stay tuned for this unboxing, because this one I think will be similar to this one. So we'll put this watch, and you'll never guess which one this is. This is another fine metallic watch that I got. I will pit it against the GM2110D since they're similar in price. This one obviously has the bracelet, and this fine metallic G-Shock obviously has the fine metallic vapor deposition metal band, right? Now this one I'm going to keep in good shape. A lot of people are like, Jim, you're supposed to get the Mudmaster, the GWG-B1000. You're supposed to get the metal bezel Mudman. What's going on? Why are you getting these fine metals? Well, this is kind of a side quest, all right? And let me just explain to you guys that my wife, you know, she's on Facebook, and she's been selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace. And like I'm really like incredulous the stuff that people buy on Facebook Marketplace. Like I have these FR jeans that were the wrong size, and she sold them like right away. And like she redid the bathroom in the boys' room, and she got people interested in buying the old mirror. And she was upfront that, you know, there's like parts of the old mirror that aren't like they're kind of like, I don't know, melted. I don't know how to describe it. It's not like in really good shape, but people buy it. This, I think, would really appeal to a Facebook Marketplace buyer. And so I just imagine that, you know, someone, if we put this on Facebook Marketplace, interested in buying it, you know, I just imagine I'd meet up with them, you know, at the bingo hall on MLK Boulevard and sell it, you know, because it's, you know, it's like rich looking. It's very, there's a lot of bling, like we described earlier, a lot of pizzazz, you know? And so I'm very confident that I can sell this on Facebook Marketplace. So that's why I went out and bought 2 of them. You know, I'd have fun making a video. I'm going to keep this one in good shape because this one really should be totally scratch-free to really fetch the most amount of money on Facebook Marketplace. So I'll let you guys know how much I sell it for on Facebook Marketplace, so stay tuned. And I think that I will actually tough test this one, and you'll have to stay tuned to see which one this is. I have not even told you which one this is. This is another fine metallic. There's 6 different fine metallic series G-Shock watches, and I'm going to pit it against the GM5110D, all right? And you could see how much damage this one's taken, right? And anyways, let me focus back in on the GM5600. No, hold on. Let me get the GM5600YMG. All right. So the module in here is a little simpler than some of the other squares. Like this is the in the 5610U. There's several different functions. You get the main time, you get the world time, alarms, stopwatch, timer, and not all of those are on here. Okay. And again, I got fingerprints all over this. You may not be as greasy as me. You may not as desperately need a microfiber to wipe this off. Like I wore this to church on Sunday because this is like a church watch. And I was just using like the inside of my blazer, you know, like the suit jacket, whatever you want to call it. I was using that to kind of polish this up a few times, you know, to keep it sparkly and shiny, all right? But anyways, the module, you have the main time and alarms, and you do have the hourly chime, okay? And these alarms can be set for monthly and I think there's like day of the week. So there's some nuance to these alarms, right? And this isn't a total rundown of the module. This is a really quick view of the module to show you that there's fewer features on this module than some of the other squares, but also some additional features. All right, so the timer, you can have the timer auto repeat, and I think it goes up to 24 hours, not exactly sure. Now the stopwatch, amazingly, has 1/100ths of a second up to an hour, and then after an hour, I believe that the 100ths of a second go away. And the whole time, in the upper right corner, you have the actual time, which I think is a great feature. I love seeing that, all right? And by the way, I'm pointing at the watch with this mini bolt action pen by Right in the Rain, link below. I love this pen. This is my EDC pen. It is small enough that, you know, you could fit it in any pocket, like your pants pocket even. And this burly pocket clip can hold your pen in your hoodie pouch. And you have a lanyard loop. I put this lanyard on, and then I put this in my chest pocket mostly, but if you have it in your pocket, not even on clipped to your pocket, if you have a lanyard, you could yank it out really easily. And so it's just long enough that it's easy to write with. All right, and of course we're pointing with it because it has a nice metal tip, this the screw-on tip. But anyways, so that's the time, right? And the, oh yeah, these buttons are backwards from some of the other modules. This is the light. Okay, so you have an LED light on the left side, and it shines across the whole display. And it's not like the electroluminescent ones, but it's pretty good at illuminating the whole screen in that blue color. And so it's really good looking. The battery is a 5-year battery. And if you don't use the light that often, you could stretch it out even longer. And so the LED light saves a lot of energy. It makes that battery last longer. All right, so the stopwatch can keep on going when you go back to the main time screen. Now, one cool feature of this module, which is 3525, is that you hold down the light button, and soon it should happen that the indicator should come on for the like you can have the light blink when the alarm goes off. It's not going on now. I may have read it wrong. I didn't actually turn it on. There's a way that maybe it's from the alarm screen. If you hold down, I think if you hold down the light button, like you can make it that the light will blink with the alarms. All right, I'm not getting it, so we'll just move on. But I read that in the instructions that is possible. And this is the first watch I have that has this module. So I'm sorry if check the comments. There's always someone more knowledgeable than me about these modules, so they would let you know about the light blinking for the alarm. All right, and so that is the module, right? And it's not that advanced, but it does what a digital watch needs to do, and it does it really well, and it looks really nice. Okay, so do I recommend this? Well, so far, I think that, if this is your style, all right, now, we'll go over the comments. I'll go over the comments next, what you guys have to say. I think that some people may really like this style. It's more of like a urban streetwear type of style, like for people who say no cap for real, unironically, this may be their style, right? But here on the Jim Kincaid YouTube channel, we say no cap for real, but we're being totally ironic. And for that, I think, like a regular bracelet watch might be more our style, or maybe even like an actual metal watch. Like this is the Citizen Pro Master Land. All right. And yes, eventually I'll get around, Lord willing, to some of the higher level of G Steel watches. That have the more robust bracelets. They cost more. This one, the GM5600YMG-9, costs $300. All right, and it did have some problems with the durability of the clasp. So it's not like the most robust bracelet, right? But a commenter was saying that the next level up at the $500 level, the G Steel bracelets are much better. So I want to try that out firsthand. So the appeal of the fine metallic series is that you don't have a bracelet, so you have far fewer failure points on the watch, and you don't have, like these bracelets, sometimes they can pinch hairs. They aren't like the most comfortable, and they're pretty heavy. This is light. This has proven durability. It's a urethane band, fewer failure points. So I mean, for a G-Shock watch, there's a lot of appeal to that. And, like I said, bling does not even, is not even, it doesn't even begin to describe it, because it looks like liquid metal. So it's like, maybe we'll think of a different word besides bling, but it's just like sleek, very sleek. And, when I wear it, sometimes I look at myself in a reflection of a mirror and just admire how all of these different spots of the watch will catch the light. And that's bling, that will reflect the light really nicely. So there's a lot of good things to say about the fine metallic series. Whether it's my style, I mean, just the fact that we are discussing whether or not it's my style is probably an indication that, it's kind of a stretch for me to be wearing this watch. But like, you know, I think Tim Johnson mentioned that it would go really well with the pit vipers, right? So pit vipers, with these pit vipers, and so, you know, these two go together. You know, you guys be the judge. By the way, I was on Tim Johnson. He started a whole new series on his channel called the Faith Series, where he is interviewing Christian YouTubers. And I was honored to be on his show. So we were talking a little bit about watches, but mostly we're talking about our belief in Jesus. And I kind of gave, you know, my personal testimony. I don't know if it made sense, because a lot of times I say things and in my head while I'm talking, I'm like, oh yes, this makes sense. And then when I read a transcript or look back, I'm like, what in the world was I saying? So I don't know if I made any sense in that, but if you go to Real Ideal Gear, that YouTube channel, and look for the Faith Series, you will see us talking about Jesus. And that was on Sunday, right? And there's a whole bunch of other videos that I was on, live streams in the Real Ideal Gear with Tim Johnson, and talking about EDC stuff, like, you know, Paul Whaley was there too. We're talking about, you know, which watch for which movie character. All right, hold on. I have to go in the other room because in here, I think I left my square. Yes, it's in here. All right. Are you guys still waiting for me? I will be right back, because this was actually in the shower. All right, so that's why it's wet. Let me wipe it off a little bit more. Using the same blue microfiber rag just to dry off the square heart is what I call this one. This is the DWH5600, and yeah, there's a lot of water in here. I think that this bezel siphoned up some water. But anyways, this band is really long. And this band, you know, is one of the supple, newer, softer bands that I was talking about. And so Denise was wearing this for a while. And these are hard water stains. We have really hard water here. And so anyways, this is, if you were a really big wrister, this is a really big watch, and it's starting to splay out more. It's kind of like broken in. So I will do a re-review of this, because my opinion of this has changed some, especially in terms of the comfort of the watch and the Paw Patrol logo, you know, this heart rate monitor. It's not as bad as it was when it was new. It kind of broke in. But this one, the band kind of comes pre-broken in, the way it splays out really far. Okay, so even this, the DWH5600, there's not much splay. I think that after wearing it for a long time, I forced it to splay out. It's broken in, but you look at the GM5600YMG, this comes pre-splayed. There's a much more obtuse angle to the splay of this watch, which I think makes it really good for a big wrister. All right, if you are a big wrister and you want that bling, the GM5600YMG, fine metallic. All right, now let me get the microfiber again. I've already put all these fingerprints on this. And again, you may not be as greasy as me, may not be as big of a deal. You know, you can use your shirt sleeve to kind of polish off whatever fingerprints you get on it. But this is how much it's worn in since wearing it. I got it a few days ago. When I get this, I guess I unboxed this on, was it Thursday or Friday? I think it was Friday. And right now it is Wednesday, all right? And so I have not tested this one. And like I said, I won't be testing it. I'll be keeping it in good shape in order to sell it to an interested buyer on Facebook Marketplace, all right? And so let's look at the comments. But just a reminder, stay tuned. An upcoming date for the chaotic unboxing of this fine metallic G-Shock watch, which, can you guess what it is? And let's see what you guys had to say about the GM5600YMG. We will look at the comments in the next episode. Ran out of time today, and also I realize now that I filmed this whole video in the wrong aspect ratio. You know, it's like, it's vertical instead of horizontal. So you guys weren't able to see how far out this new Fine Metallic series is splays. You know, like I was talking about how far out it splays. It splays out a remarkable amount. All right, and the aspect ratio did not capture that. So we will have to, I'll show you in another video that, but in the next video, we'll look at the comments that you guys left about the unboxing of the Fine Metallic series. So that'll be next. So stay tuned for that. And gentlemen, remember, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. I'm Jim Kincaid. Thanks for watching.